A pleasant good evening and welcome to Bethel Park Stadium on the campus of Bethel Park High School in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky alongside Fred Guy for this WPIAL Quad A Southeastern Conference matchup between your Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Woodland Hills 1-0 on the year, undefeated in the Southeastern Conference off of a 27-0 victory a week ago against the Peters Township Indians. Meanwhile, Bethel Park is 0-1 on the year. They lost in a non-conference matchup to the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings at Carnegie Mellon University last Friday night. Woodland Hills will receive to begin this football game, and we thank you for joining us no matter where you are across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back deep to return for Woodland Hills, Miles Sanders and Art Tompkins. Both of those young men had fantastic games a week ago against Peters Township, especially in the first half. Kicking off for Bethel Park is Matthew Monty, and we are underway in Bethel Park, PA. The kickoff bounces off of the chest of Stephen Puel. The ball is loose on the carpet. The Blackhawks say they've got it. There's a mass of humanity on the carpet. The officials are unpiling bodies, and it's Blackhawk football. On the recovery for Bethel Park is Mac Mikowski, and 1st and 10 for Bethel Park at the Woodland Hills 35, and that is not the way the Wolverines wanted to start this one, Fred.
No, I thought Puel was just going to let the ball go right past him. It was just at his shoulders or above. You should just let it go past you. Let Miles Sanders or Art Tompkins handle the ball, especially when they're so used to handling footballs in that situation.
So 1st and 10 for Bethel Park as they break the huddle with an eye backfield. Quarterback is Levi Matheny, now a junior. For the Blackhawks, he'll hand off to the fullback, and that fullback barrels his way forward. He lost the football. The Wolverines got it, but the officials will say that fullback is down. Connor McGinnis took the licking after a 9-yard pickup, and it's 2nd down and 1 for Bethel Park. Ball at the Woodland Hills 26.
Yeah, Bethel Park has taken a page out of the Peters Township playbook because they were very successful with the fullback dives and traps last week against this Wolverine defense.
Motion man from left to right for the Blackhawks. Handoff goes to the second man through. He's bouncing away from Wolverine, spinning all the way down to the 10-yard line before the tackle is made by Jordan Lee. But a nice carry there for Alexander Minton. And it's 1st and goal for Bethel Park with the ball at the 10.
Yeah, give some credit to the offensive line of Bethel Park because they are really going after this Wolverine defense, opening up nice holes for Minton and getting a 1st down.
Again, Bethel Park started this drive with the football at the Woodland Hills 36. High backfield again. And some movement up front after a hard count by Levi Matheny. And this could cost the Wolverines 5 more yards.
And this is the perfect start that Bethel Park has wanted, you know, with the opening kickoff fumble and then really just marching down the heart of the Wolverine defense right now.
So 1st and goal, now the ball at the 5 after the penalty against Woodland Hills. High backfield behind Matheny. Motion man from left to right. That's Mikowski. Hand off to Minton. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he'll actually lose about a yard on the play. At the bottom of the pile for the Wolverines is Mike Nash. Nash in on tackle as well as Gibson.
And that was actually a good job of Mike Nash of coming from his cornerback position and just reading run all the way and being able to hit Minton before he can get anything going.
Pistol formation. Legal motion against Bethel Park, so even if Matheny scores here, it won't be a touchdown. The motion man who motioned out of the backfield was Alexander Minton, and he was headed forward at the snap, so that'll be a legal motion against Bethel Park. And it is going to cost the Blackhawks 5 yards. So the Blackhawks will move back to the 11-yard line after that illegal shift, where it'll be 2nd down and 11.
And it looks like Levi Matheny came to the sideline wincing in pain. His left shoulder was looks like it's been giving him some issues, because he did take a nice shot by number 38 Lee as he was coming into the end zone.
So an eye backfield here. With 9:50 to go, clock stopped here in quarter number 1. Motion man from left to right for the Blackhawks. The ball carrier Minton again. He'll drive his way inside of the 10, brought down at the 8-yard line, and 3-yard pickup there for Minton.
And it looks like number 46 Bowden was on that tackle. He did a great job of just coming across the line of scrimmage and saw Minton as he was crossing it and made a nice tackle.
So Woodland Hills will take a timeout here with 9:27 to go in quarter number 1, and we will too. 9:27 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to Bethel Park High School, where the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Bethel Park Blackhawks are tied up at 0 early on here in quarter number 1. Bethel Park threatening with the ball, 3rd and goal, ball at the 8-yard line. Bethel Park in this position because the Wolverines muffed the initial kickoff. It bounced off of the chest of Stephen Puel, and the Blackhawks recovered it at the Woodland Hills 36. Motion man from left to right is Pryor. Matheny, he'll roll to his right, has a man open. That is Pryor. He'll catch it at the goal line and step into the end zone. And the Woodland Hills Wolverine defense has allowed the first points of the season. The problem is the special teams, Fred, didn't give them a lot of field to work with.
No, they didn't. And Bethel Park made that look pretty easy, just driving down the heart of the Wolverine offense right into the end zone. Pryor just came in motion and did a little slip out into the flat. Matheny found him wide open and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Monty on to attempt the point after touchdown. Snap a little low. The point after touchdown is blocked by the Wolverines. It's big Daniel Gibson who gets in there and smothers the football. And with 9:21 to go in quarter number 1, it's Bethel Park 6 and Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Bethel Park on top of Woodland Hills early here, 6-0, as the Blackhawks take advantage of a Woodland Hills special teams mistake. Bethel Park got the ball at the Woodland Hills 36-yard line after the opening kickoff bounced off of the chest of Stephen Puel. And Bethel Park pushed the ball down the field and capped off the drive with a 8-yard touchdown pass from Levi Matheny to Keontae Pryor. And again, they'll kick it Puel. This time Puel lets it go, rolls to the 11, where Miles Sanders picks up the football. Sanders trying to run to his left, and he'll be undercut at the 14-yard line, and that's where it will be. 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, and the Wolverines have a long field in comparison to Bethel Park, who had just 36 yards from pay dirt.
Yeah, you give a lot of credit to number 25 for Bethel Park, Jeremy Lazari. He did a great job of just making sure that Miles Sanders couldn't get around the Bethel Park defensive unit to get some open field, and did a great job of just making a shoestring tackle.
So again, Woodland Hills takes over with the football at their own 14. High backfield behind Jeremiah Jones. He'll hand off to Miles Sanders, who runs to his left. Across the 20, the 25 still on his feet, 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone, touchdown Miles Sanders, and the Wolverines strike back like lightning. Miles Sanders goes 86 yards for the touchdown.
And Woodland Hills made that look very, very easy. And it was just a basic wham play. Everybody that has played at Woodland Hills knows the 25 wham is one of Coach Novak's favorite plays. That's exactly what they run. They got a big block, big kick-out block by Joe Elshaw. And then once Miles Sanders saw the green in front of him, there was no stopping him.
So John Leone on to attempt the point after touchdown for Woodland Hills. And this could give the Wolverines the early lead. The holder, Michael Whitehurst. The long snapper, Stephen Rickard. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and that kick is good. And with 8:55 to go in quarter number one, the Wolverines have taken the lead 7-6 over the Blackhawks. You're tuned in to Woodland Hills and Bethel Park all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills has seized the lead 7-6 after one offensive play. An 86-yard touchdown run by Miles Sanders. He bounced it left, found a crease, showed his patented moves, leaping through traffic, and then took it to the house unscathed, and nobody was going to catch him once he broke free. You got 8:55 to go in quarter number one, and Woodland Hills is on top, 7-6. Leon's kick bounces over the head of a couple of Blackhawks and will finally be scooped up along that far boundary by Keontae Pryor. And Pryor steps out of bounds along the far boundary at the 26-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10. We'll actually push it back to the 24 now, where it'll be first and 10 for Bethel Park.
Yeah, good job of Joel Shaw forcing Pryor out of bounds, because he had a head of steam going forward as he caught that ball. But, you know, once you see number 16 coming at you, you're going to want to duck out of bounds as well.
First and 10 for Bethel Park. This time they have a long field. They had a short field last time around. Empty set, 5 wides for Bethel Park. 2 to the right, 3 to the near side left. Matheny in the tight shotgun. And a timeout is called by the Woodland Hills defense. Our Tompkins didn't like what he saw in front of him. So the Wolverines will take a break, and we will too. 8:51 to go in quarter number one. It's Woodland Hills 7 and Bethel Park 6. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills on top of Bethel Park, 7-6. 8:51 to go in quarter number one. Again, an empty set for Bethel Park. 2 to the right, 3 to the near side left. Matheny going to run a screen to the near side. It's complete to Pryor, and Pryor will be met in the backfield, 3 yards deep, in fact, in that backfield. Tackle on the play by the Wolverines. Damon Johnson. And it's second down and 12 back at the 22. They'll say the forward progress was pushed back from there.
Yeah, it was a good job of Mike Nash actually bringing the play back inside, not letting Pryor get outside. Kept containment, and then number 23, Johnson, was able to clean up the play.
Motion man Krabs to the left. Matheny's going to run the option to the near side left. The pitch goes out of bounds. Matheny was looking for Minton. Minton didn't anticipate the pitch. The pitch was far from pretty either, and this will be a loss on the play back to the 16-yard line, and you'll charge this one to Matheny on a loss of 6.
Yeah, it looked like Matheny was forced to make that errant pitch because he had a lot of pressure coming from the defensive line and linebackers of Woodland Hills.
Hot and humid night here in western Pennsylvania. Great crowd on hand for both teams. Offset eye backfield behind Matheny. 2 receivers to his right on 3rd down and 18. And some movement up front by Bethel Park. And this will push the Blackhawks back even further. And Fred, this is a far cry from what we saw from Bethel Park in their first offensive drive. And they may be a bit shell-shocked after they felt all the momentum seized from them when Miles Sanders took it 86 yards to the house.
Yeah, that can definitely take the momentum from one sideline to the other very quick when you have a situation like that. But, you know, Adam, they got the ball in their, they're in the Wolverines' end of the field, had a lot of momentum going forth. Now, they just seem very flat and disorganized right now.
Matheny under center. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the near side left. He'll run the draw, and Pryor is hit as soon as he takes the handoff. Kevin Solomon just absolutely knocked Pryor on his can. And a loss on that play of 8 yards, and it's 4th down and a mile for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, Solomon was not fooled by the quarterback, or Matheny dropping back as a pass, because as soon as that ball was placed in the belly of the running back, Mr. Solomon was right in his face.
Kevin Solomon absolutely built like a fire hydrant. Now the Blackhawks will punt it away to the 2 most dangerous return men in the WPIAL. And Miles Sanders will take the easy way out. Fair catch after a beautiful punt, but it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. Ball right around the 47-yard line. Then Woodland Hills atop the Southeastern Conference at 1-0. Mount Lebanon and Penn Hills are also undefeated within conference play. Baldwin has yet to play a conference game, even though they won their game a week ago. Bethel Park is 0-1. They've yet to play a conference game until tonight. And Cannon Mac, Peters Township, and Upper St. Clair all losing in their conference openers last week. And of course, Woodland Hills, we've talked about it already, the number 1 team in the WPIAL. Central Catholic nipping at their heels at number 2, the defending champs. Jeremiah Jones steps under center with an eye backfield. He'll send Art Tompkins in motion from right to left. Hand off Joel Shaw. He lost the handle. And Bethel Park says they got on the football at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag down. And if the Blackhawks were in the neutral zone, it will give the Wolverines another opportunity. If not, this is going to cost Woodland Hills a possession. And it will cost Woodland Hills a possession. Illegal motion against the team in white. And the second turnover of the game for the Wolverines.
Yeah, it looks like actually Jeremiah Jones was called for the illegal motion because as he was trying to grab the football from the center, he started to move back a little bit, which, you know, that is a penalty, and you can't really do that even as a quarterback.
Matheny, he's going to hand off this time. Minton has a big hole over right tackle, and he'll be brought down after a 9-yard gain. Jordan Lee in on the tackle for Woodland Hills, but it's 2nd and 1 for Bethel Park, and that's what we saw from the Blackhawks in their first drive.
Yeah, either Woodland Hills, the referees, or somebody missed the fact that there were only 10 men on the field for Woodland Hills on that last play.
Well, you can have too few, but you can't have too many. Hand off Minton. Bounces his way forward, gets close to the first down marker. And the referee will step in, he'll take a look. And from this vantage point, the referee can't tell, so they're going to bring the sticks out. So Minton, after definitely picking up 9 yards on the first play, only picks up about a half yard on the second play of this drive.
And I'm really shocked how well that the Bethel Park offense, especially the running game, is able to get some significant yardage against that stout defensive line for Woodland Hills.
So the sticks come out, and initially the sticks didn't come out, they just moved them. Now they do bring out the sticks, and it is a first down for Bethel Park. So Minton on 2 carries picks up 10 yards, and Minton now has himself 30 yards on 4 carries. High backfield offset. Motion man from right to left behind Matheny. Matheny off of play action, rolls left, dumps it off. Wide open is Minton in the flat. Minton inside of the 25, inside of the 15 before being shouldered out of bounds along the near boundary by Art Tompkins. But it's 1st and 10 for Bethel Park all the way down at the Woodland Hills 12-yard line.
And on that play, Woodland Hills looked like they went back to their traditional 5-2 defense, 5 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and nobody picked up Minton coming out of the backfield, and Matheny hit him in stride, and Bethel Park is doing a great job against this defense.
31-yard pickup on that one for the Blackhawks. Side backfield behind Matheny. A hard count. And the Wolverine moved into the neutral zone. It was Amon Baldwin Youngblood who moved early, but there was some movement by the black jerseys as well, and the officials will sort this one out. Bethel Park thinks it's against Woodland Hills, and the officials will concur. It's offsides against the visitors, and that pushes the ball all the way down to the 7-yard line. And Fred, we saw this a year ago, as the Wolverines took on Bethel Park. Early in the game, the Blackhawks were able to hang with Woodland Hills, but the Wolverines' big play ability ended up putting the Blackhawks away by halftime.
Yeah, and right now, Woodland Hills is playing a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde defense First series a little sloppy. Second series very stout. This one's coming back to being sloppy as well.
Minton, the ball carrier, he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get no further. A gang of Wolverines are there to bring him down, including Kevin Solomon. And at the bottom of the pile is Laquan Bowden.
And with, despite Bethel Park missing their PAT due to a block, they're very well of kicking, a field goal within this range with number 9, Matthew Monty.
Monty, a senior, experienced kicker for Bethel Park. Matheny will step under center with an eye backfield behind him. Offset with Keontae dotting the eye. Matheny hit as he releases the football. The pass intended for Dixon is incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 4 with the ball at the 6. First incompletion of the game today for Bethel Park.
And the one thing I'm looking at right now is Art Tompkins going to the sidelines. It looks like his right arm is hanging. Might have had a stinger on that last play. Let's just hope he gets back into the action pretty soon.
It's being attended to right now by athletic trainer Denny D'Amico and the physical therapist Joe Schaffo. 5:27 to go, quarter number 1. It's 3rd and 4 for Bethel Park with the ball at the Woodland Hills 7. Woodland Hills on top, 7-6. And Matheny has to check in here. And Bethel Park will have to use a timeout. Woodland Hills has 1 left. Bethel Park with 2. And we'll take a break. It's Bethel Park 7, or rather Woodland Hills 7 and Bethel Park 6. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Seven to 6, Woodland Hills on top of Bethel Park, but the Blackhawks threaten again with the ball inside of the Woodland Hills 10-yard line at the 6, where it's 3rd down and 4 for the home Blackhawks. Offset eye backfield behind Matheny. Minton dots that offset eye. The pass to the near sideline. A one-handed catch for a touchdown by Jacob Dixon, and Woodland Hills is down by 5 points here, 12-7.
Yeah, and Bethel Park just saw the matchup. You had Dixon versus Nash. Nash listed at 6', 174. Dixon is 6'5", so they figured they'd take advantage of the height disadvantage, and paid off for Bethel Park.
Bethel Park looks to go for 2 here. Coach Matheny talking things over with his son right now. And the Blackhawks will bring the offense out on the field and ask for the ball to be placed at the left hash. Shotgun formation. Matheny runs to his right. He'll release the football, and it's batted away from Minton. Reaching out and swatting that football away was Jason Visco. And that incomplete pass keeps the score at Bethel Park 12 and Woodland Hills 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Fireworks are abundant here at Bethel Park High School as Woodland Hills now trails the Bethel Park Blackhawks 12-7 with 5:21 to go in quarter number 1. Bethel Park has taken advantage of 2 Woodland Hills giveaways, one on the special teams and another one on a mistake on a handoff between Jeremiah Jones and Joel Shaw. And that Bethel Park Blackhawk team drove the ball 53 yards on Woodland Hills, occupying less than 2 minutes off of the clock to score their most recent touchdown on a 6-yard touchdown pass from Levi Matheny to Jacob Dixon. And this kick will carry out of bounds at the 2-yard line by Matthew Monty, and that'll give Woodland Hills the football with very good field position with the ball at the 35.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, Woodland Hills, their offense just needs to regroup, let that last play slip out of their mind, get focused on this drive, and try to put some points at the end on the board at the end of the drive.
So 5:21 to go here in quarter number 1. It's Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park 12-7. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you. Russ Reamer back at WZUM Studios. And our television crew doing a great job as always. High backfield behind Jeremiah Jones. Receiver split to either side. Hand off. Miles Sanders lowers his shoulder, drives his way forward, picks up about 2 yards over left tackle.
It's a good thing to see Art Tompkins back at wide receiver after being injured on that last defensive drive. And certain things like this, Adam, where they're just a 2-yard pickup, Woodland Hills really needs to just be satisfied with that and then keep matriculating the ball down the field and hopefully scoring some points.
A week ago, Miles Sanders rushed for 116 yards. He had a pair of touchdowns. Right now, he has 2 carries for 88 yards and a TD. Here comes Art Tompkins on the end around. To the far boundary he will go. Across the 40 and brought down at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 for Woodland Hills.
And let's just see if this 3rd and 4 turns into a passing situation. Last week, Woodland Hills did not do a good job in the passing game. I believe only completing two passes the entire game. If they're going to be, the top team that they're supposed to be, the passing game's got to come along with it.
Jones completed one, as did Deron Cooper. That was it a week ago. Jones will hand off this time to Miles Sanders, who's going to reverse his field. He picks up a block from Jones as he bounces to the near sideline. Jones stiff arms a man. First down yardage, cut back 50, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone touchdown. But there's a flag back near midfield. Miles Sanders had the first down prior to the flag coming down, but this touchdown may be coming back.
I think you might get some unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness.
Let's see what this flag is back here at the 47. Legal block in the back against Woodland Hills. Now, Miles Sanders had already picked up the first down prior to the penalty. Then they'll move the flag back to the 37. Now, I'm not 100% sure that that's correct. I feel like it should be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 37. But either way, Woodland Hills has another opportunity here on 3rd down. Instead of 3rd and 4, it's now 3rd and 8.
And that really negated a nifty run by Miles Sanders, who started the play to the left side, did not see an opening at all, reversed his field, and then once he reversed his field, he outran one Bethel Park defender, which got him to the sideline. And unfortunately, that was called back because of a blocking in the back penalty.
Coach Novak uses the final timeout of half number 1 here with 3:43 to go in quarter number 1. We'll step away as well. It's Bethel Park 12 and Woodland Hills 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. .343 to go in quarter number 1. Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park 12-7. Woodland Hills facing a 3rd down and 8 with the ball at their own 37-yard line. Miles Sanders just took it to the house 45-plus yards moments ago, but it was called back on an illegal block in the back. Art Tompkins now motions from right to left. Jeremiah Jones going to step up as he runs to his left. He'll be wrapped and he'll be brought down. Jeremiah Jones took a long time to make a decision there. It was time to either tuck and run or dump it off to Art Tompkins. He didn't do either decisively. And a loss of 3 on the sack.
It looked like he had the opportunity to hit Art Tompkins in the flat as Art Tompkins came in motion. I don't know if he read something off of the cornerback or safeties, but Art Tompkins was definitely open, but just decided to tuck it and run and really didn't do Woodland Hills any good.
Here comes the Australian punter, Jake Rushbridge, standing at his own 20. He'll boom this one away. End over end kick will bounce inside of the 25, inside of the 20, roll to the far boundary. Takes an even bigger Woodland Hills roll and goes out of bounds at the 15 under the watchful eye of Jihad Brown. And a great punt there by Jake Rushbridge pushes the Blackhawks all the way back to the 15.
Yeah, and Rushbridge, like we mentioned before, only takes one step when he punts. Most punters use a two-step approach, but he really laid into that one. And then as the ball was going out of bounds, it looked like it hit the turn signal, made a right, and got another few yards before going out of bounds.
Again, the score 12-7, Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park with 2:48 to go in quarter number 1. Matheny brings the offense out of the huddle with an offset I backfield. Fullback will crab out of that backfield as Matheny rolls to his left. Blackhawks setting up a screen. And the pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Jake Lewis. Lewis sliding down around the 20, couldn't hang on to it. And the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, good job of coverage by the Wolverine defense. That's probably the first time that they've had significant man-to-man coverage on any play. And they just did a really good job of, that, and along with the pressure from defensive line of forcing Matheny into a bad pass.
Bethel Park taking a while to bring the play in. Bethel Park, one of the few high schools in Quad A that does not have play clocks. Of course, we're accustomed to that at the Wolverina, as Woodland Hills is also one of those few teams that doesn't have play clocks. High backfield behind Matheny. Matheny, delay handoff. The handoff goes to Keontae Pryor, and Pryor crosses the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down at the 18-yard line. Jordan Lee on the tackle. Talked about it a week ago. Jordan Lee, in the lineage of Lees here at Woodland Hills. His brother Mike, his father Mike. Both standout linebackers for the Black and Turquoise.
Yeah, growing up as a kid, I had a chance to watch Mike Lee play. With him and Jack Neff roaming the middle of that Wolverine defense, it was pretty much virtually that nobody was running on those guys.
Offset I backfield behind Levi Matheny. 2 receivers to the left, tight end to the right of the formation. Matheny off of play action. Kyron McLean was getting held blatantly. No flag flies. The pass is complete. It's a Bethel Park first down. As Jake Lewis on the reception gets banged around and finally brought down across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that was the thing that stood out to me the most on that last play was Kyron McLean's jersey was going in all kinds of different directions and right in front of the referee, and there was no call made at all.
58 yards in the air for Matheny. 1st and 10 for Bethel Park. With an I backfield behind Levi Matheny. They'll send the wing back in motion from left to right. Hand off to the fullback. The ball is loose. There's a mass of humanity for it. Both teams say they have it. But it seems like Bethel Park may be the party that comes out of the pile with the football. No, it's the Wolverines! Somehow, Wolford Clark got underneath there and dug the football away, and it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills on their first takeaway at the 36-yard line of the Bethel Park Blackhawks.
Yeah, it actually didn't look like a bad exchange from Matheny to McGinnis. It just still didn't look like McGinnis secured the ball as he was going across the line of scrimmage, and fortunately for Woodland Hills, they picked it up on the Bethel Park side of the field.
So Woodland Hills looks to take advantage of Bethel Park's first turnover of the football game with 1:11 to go in the first quarter, and the ball at the Bethel Park 36. Pitch to Miles Sanders. He'll bounce it left, picking up a nice block from Joel Shaw. And Sanders inside of the 35 to the 34. Pickup of 2 before being brought down by Keontae Pryor.
Coach Novak is really digging into the old playbook for some of these plays. I can't recall, at least in the past 2 or 3 years, where Woodland Hills has ran a flat-out pitch. It's nice to see them bring it back, especially when you have the speed of Sanders that can find the edge and exploit a defense if they're not properly prepared.
Miles Sanders with 96 yards on the ground after that 2-yard pickup. Deep I backfield behind Jeremiah Jones. Jones is going to hand off to Miles Sanders, who bounces it to the near side. Hesitation by Sanders, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Keontae Pryor with a nice open field tackle. And it's 3rd down and 8 for Bethel Park.
You know, for Pryor only being listed at 5'7", 155, he is making a tremendous impact on this game, both offensively and defensively.
So again, 3rd and 8 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the Bethel Park 34. Bethel Park has taken advantage of 2 Woodland Hills mistakes, one on the opening kickoff. The second one on a fumble on the second possession of the game by Woodland Hills. That one by Joel Shaw. Jeremiah Jones is pressured. Thought about throwing it to Shaw. Instead, he'll tuck and run, and he'll push the ball up to the 31-yard line before being brought down. So after that carry by Jeremiah Jones, it's going to be 4th down and 5 for Woodland Hills, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 1. We head to the second frame with Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills 12-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Set to begin quarter number 2 here at Bethel Park High School. It's Bethel Park 12 and Woodland Hills 7 right now. A bit of a shock as the Woodland Hills Wolverines facing their second deficit in this early season, both coming here early against Bethel Park. Woodland Hills will go for it here on 4th down and 5, the ball at the Bethel Park 31. Jones in the shotgun, trips left. He'll roll left. He'll throw it straight down the field. The pass is batted away. Leaping up and swatting that football away for Bethel Park was Teron Murphy. The intended receiver for Woodland Hills was Jamon Dunn, and the incomplete pass brings up 1st and 10 for Bethel Park, the turnover on downs against the Wolverines.
And that was a gutsy throw by Jeremiah Jones, because I really didn't think he was going to go that route, because Art Tompkins was open in the flat if he was just able to put some air underneath it and get it over the Bethel Park defender. But he saw a one-on-one matchup down the field, and it's good to see that he's going to take those shots for Woodland Hills, especially in the passing game.
Woodland Hills with the football Bethel Park with the football at their own 31. They dodge a bullet after turning the ball over to the Wolverines. Motion man from left to right. The ball carrier's Minton, and he is down that far sideline. And he will be tripped up from behind, but not before getting down to the 16-yard line. But there's a flag all the way back at the 36, and this one's going to be coming back. The Blackhawk fans are cheering. Apparently they didn't see the flag like they saw when Woodland Hills had a touchdown negated moments ago. This will be a hold against Bethel Park. So Minton will be credited with 5 yards in his personal stats, but it'll be 1st down and 15 for Bethel Park, way back at the 26.
Yeah, it seems like when Pryor is playing the tailback position, they have Minton at fullback, and they just ran a quick hitter with Minton. Was able to get through the second wave or second level of Woodland Hills defenders, and you know, if it wasn't for a shoestring tackle, you know, Minton, well, negated the penalty, would have negated a nice touchdown run.
11:38 to go here in quarter number 2. Bethel Park on top of Woodland Hills, 12-7. Motion man from left to right for the Blackhawks. Matheny with a delay handoff to Keontae Pryor, and Pryor will be met 2 yards deep in the backfield by Laquan Bowden. And they'll say it's actually a loss of 1. As apparently Pryor got back to the 25, even though from our vantage point it didn't seem that way. So Keontae Pryor, though he has an 8-yard touchdown reception today, on the ground, he has 3 carries for -6 yards.
And with the way Minton's been running, it's probably a good thing for the Woodland Hills defense that he's on the sideline right now catching a breather after that long run.
Trips to the right. Tight end to the left of the formation. Pistol. Matheny, he'll throw the screen to the near side. And what a nice open field tackle and closing speed there by Laquan Bowden, as John Delino along this near sideline had broken away. But Laquan Bowden closed quickly and kept it at a reasonable gain for Bethel Park.
Yeah, closing quickly might be an understatement. That was actually a very impressive play by Bowden, who is a bigger guy. I mean, he patrols the middle of the defense, he's middle linebacker, but was able to pick up the read and blaze to the sideline to make the tackle.
Clock rolling down towards 10 minutes to go in the first half. Bethel Park on top of Woodland Hills 12-7. Pistol formation with Pryor behind Matheny. Throw again to the far sideline for Delino. And this time it'll be a modest gain of 2 to the 36-yard line on the same play. And this will bring up 4th down and 5. The punt unit will come out for Bethel Park as Christopher Papalia will come out to boot it away for the Blackhawks.
And the Wolverine defense definitely read that play very quickly. Just a little slip out to the flat. Woodland Hills was not phased on that play.
And the punt is away as a flag comes down, and this will take a neutral bounce, and a flag came in after the ball had bounced. So there are 2 flags on the play, one near the line of scrimmage, another one right near the ball was down. So the officials have some sorting out to do. It appears that the penalty at the 45 may be against Bethel Park. It's unclear what the penalty is at the line of scrimmage. And if it's Woodland Hills in the neutral zone, it could be enough for a Bethel Park first down. But if these are offsetting penalties, most likely the down will be replayed from 4th down and 5.
Well, I think the penalty at the 45-yard line is going to be against Woodland Hills.
Well, the official who's standing at the 45-yard line pointed towards Bethel Park. So far, this is up in the ace crew we're accustomed to at the quad A level. Ball's moving around. And we still await the call from the Wolverines. First flag is waved off. The second flag is unsportsmanlike conduct against Woodland Hills. So that will back up the Wolverines from the 45 back to the 30, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Woodland Hills. First down and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the 30 after the Bethel Park punt. 9:06 to go here in quarter number 2. Pass to the far side intended for Art Tompkins is incomplete. The officials will say it was a forward pass by Jeremiah Jones, and that brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it didn't look like Art Tompkins was ready for that pass. I mean, it just looked like Jeremiah Jones came up from under center and threw a direct shot to Art Tompkins, who wasn't looking or wasn't ready, whatever the case may be. Woodland Hills is very lucky that didn't go behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball at their own 30. Shotgun formation. High snap. An option here. Jeremiah Jones pulls it out of the belly of Joel Shaw. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further. The ball had come loose, but long after the whistles had sounded, and it's 3rd down and 10 for Woodland Hills. Gang of Bethel Park Blackhawks on the tackle, including Mikulski.
Really confused why Jones didn't just let that ball go into the belly of Shaw and let him take the brunt of those hits. I mean, there's no way as your quarterback you're going to be that durable. Especially when you've had some injuries in the past. Let your running backs take the brunt. Let them take the hits. and let them get yardage. That's what really Woodland Hills needs right now.
Sidecar to the right of Jones. Snap a little high. Sanders is wide open. A throw down the field intended for Jamon Dunn is incomplete. But the receiver probably should have been Miles Sanders, because Fred, he was wide open from the time he left the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was nobody covering him at all. And number 4, Papilia, did a great job of breaking off his man and coming over to Dunn to break up that pass.
So the punt unit is on for Woodland Hills. Jake Rushbridge to boot it away, standing at his own 15. Rushbridge boots it to Pryor, who catches it at the 38-yard line. He'll run to his left. Puel with the initial contact. The ball is punched loose. And it looked like Bethel Park may be the beneficiary of this fumble as the ball was fumbled forward. The bodies unpile, and somehow Stephen Rickert was at the bottom of the pile, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 45-yard line.
This has been one of the sloppier games we've seen Woodland Hills play over the past couple of years, and both teams, giving up the ball. I believe it's 2 fumbles apiece, correct?
That is correct.
Just sloppy play right now. I'm not exactly sure, what's going through the mind of everybody, but they really need to button it up a little bit if Woodland Hills is going to take advantage.
So folks watching on the television side, you can see Pryor along that far boundary approaching the midfield stripe. He has the ball knocked loose. The ball is loose on the carpet here. And Stephen Rickard was in the vicinity of the football. It looked like there was some hands from Bethel Park on the ball initially. But when it was all unpiled, it was Woodland Hills with the football. Stephen Rickard on the recovery.
And I think it was Asan Ghanem who was able to punch that ball loose for Woodland Hills, and luckily Rickard was there to corral it.
Again, Woodland Hills looks to take advantage here of the first takeaway of the football, or the second takeaway of the football game, and the first special teams mistake by Bethel Park. Woodland Hills has made mistakes today. Bethel Park has capitalized. Let's see if the Wolverines can do the same. They haven't thus far. $7:50 to go in quarter number 2. High backfield behind Jeremiah Jones. Hand off to Miles Sanders. He'll bounce off of a blocker, push his way forward. A pickup of 2 for Miles Sanders there.
This seems like one of the longer games, longer first halves that we've had, especially, last week went by really fast, but both teams are just doing a good job even though there has been some sloppy play, they're doing a great job of maintaining some sort of control, when they get a big play, they get a big play, but right now they're hanging in there.
Jeremiah Jones look for the delay handoff to Miles Sanders. The ball goes to the carpet. It's recovered by Bethel Park. And the Blackhawks have the ball at the Woodland Hills 41-yard line. As a delay in the decision-making process by Jeremiah Jones costs Woodland Hills this possession.
And I didn't think that was a clean center quarterback exchange when he came out of when he came out from under center. It looked like he was bobbling it, which threw the timing off from to Miles Sanders, and then he just tried to lay it in there, and a couple seconds later the ball's on the turf.
Offset eye backfield behind Matheny. 1st and 10 for Bethel Park with the ball at the Woodland Hills 41. Matheny looking for the home run pass, and Visco retreating slaps the ball to the far boundary. It was intended for Jake Lewis, but the pass is incomplete.
And Lewis got behind Visco, but Visco made up some ground very quickly. And then as that ball was going into the receiver's hands, he was able to knock it away.
$6:58 to go in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park 12-7. Bethel Park with the ball. 2nd down and 10 at the Woodland Hills 41. Matheny Runs the quarterback draw. Crosses the line of scrimmage and slides down inside of the 40 to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 2 brings up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I thought Matheny was definitely going to hit John Delino in the flat with that pass, but guess he was reading the safeties and decided to tuck it and run. You know, good job of Woodland Hills of initially seeing pass and then immediately going into a run defense.
So 3rd down and 8 as the clock rolls down towards 6 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills down by 5. Bethel Park at the Woodland Hills 39. Handoff to Minton, and Minton is met at the line of scrimmage. And will actually be pounded down a yard deep in the backfield at the 40-yard line. Kevin Solomon on the tackle for Woodland Hills, and it's 4th down and 9 for the Blackhawks.
I think that's the first time that Minton's lost yardage as a fullback. Last couple of plays, times he's touched the ball, he's been able to get some good yardage for the Blackhawk offense.
And Minton had 1 0-yard gain today, but that's his first loss from scrimmage. Bethel Park to punt. Sky high punt. Goes out of bounds along the near boundary, and the official will say that the ball goes out of bounds at the 25, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Woodland Hills. So Bethel Park makes a mistake. Woodland Hills does not capitalize. The Wolverines make a mistake. The Blackhawks don't capitalize. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at their own 25 and 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
And really, right now, Woodland Hills needs to use every bit of that 5:28 on the clock. And just to calm themselves down, get themselves in a rhythm, and just punch the ball into the end zone. They know they can do the quick hit plays, and that might come, but they need to know that they can sustain drives to keep themselves and get themselves back in the ball games and then keep the opponent's offense off the field.
Shotgun formation, trips to the right, 1 receiver to the near side left. Sidecar to the left of Jones. He'll hand off. No, he'll keep it himself. Jeremiah Jones to the near side, across the 30 to the 35, where he'll step out of bounds. Close to 1st down yardage. It'll depend on the spot. And the official says that it is enough for a Woodland Hills 1st down at that 35.
And that was an excellent read by Jones on that last play. The previous time before they ran the zone read option with Joel Shaw, bobbled it, fumbled it, not a good situation. This time it was actually a good read by Jones.
The official along the near sideline spotted the ball at the 35, said it was a 1st down. They moved the ball back inside of the 35 to just past the 34, and now it's 2nd down and a short 1. Motion man from left to right is Miles Sanders. He looks to bounce it to the outside, and the play is strung out, and Miles Sanders is forced out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So instead of 2nd and 13, now it is 3rd down and 3.
Good job of Bethel Park of actually stringing that play along, because when Miles Sanders first took the ball from Jeremiah Jones, I thought he was going to find a quick seam and burst it upfield, but Bethel Park did a great job of just stringing along to the sideline and getting him out of bounds.
So it's 3rd down and 3 for Woodland Hills with the ball at their own 32-yard line, 5:11 to play in quarter number 2. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy here at a very hot and humid Bethel Park High School stadium. Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park by 5 points, 12-7. Jeremiah Jones in the shotgun, rolls to his left, throws to his left. The pass in and out of the hands of Miles Sanders. And Woodland Hills will have to bring the punt unit out again. There were 2 Wolverines there, 1 Blackhawk. Neither white jersey came out of there with the football.
Yeah, that's very frustrating to see. And I'm sure as the coaches saw that play, 2 receivers in the same area. One's got to break their route off a little bit sooner. Just a little bit of a frustrating moment right now for this Woodland Hills offensive unit.
Jake Rushbridge to boom it away. Again, a beauty. End-over-end kick. Bounces inside of the 30 and rolls out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And another nice punt by Jake Rushbridge. Pushes the Bethel Park Blackhawks inside of their own territory. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Let's see if the defense can come out of here with a big play. Because other than Miles Sanders taking it 86 yards to the house, the Woodland Hills offense has been very, very quiet today. .4:57 to go in quarter number 2. Bethel Park with the ball at their own 28. Matheny off of play action, rolls to his left, steps forward, he'll be hit, he'll be wrapped, and he will be sacked. Amon Baldwin Youngblood cleaned up the play, but the initial contact was by Adam McVeigh, the 6', 200-pound senior defensive end.
Yeah, Woodland Hills has done a great job this year of rotating their defensive linemen, keeping them fresh, keeping them ready to go. And in that case, Adam McVeigh, who hasn't really gotten a lot of time in his career, did a great job of just getting himself upfield, forcing Matheny back into the middle of the field, and Baldwin Youngblood was able to clean up for the sack.
4:18 as the clock is winding here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Bethel Park by 5. Blackhawks out of the huddle with a one-back set, 2 receivers to either side. Matheny steps under center. He'll hand off straight up the middle. It's Minton, the ball carrier, and Minton gets back to the 28 and no further, and that brings up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah. Bethel Park going back to their pretty much bread and butter play right now. It's just a quick tackle or quick fullback dive, which has paid great dividends for Blackhawk today.
So 3rd and 10 for Bethel Park with the ball at the 28-yard line. Bethel Park taking their time here as they come out of the huddle. Matheny. Sidecar to his right, and a fullback crabbing from left to right. Matheny throws to the near side to Keontae Pryor, and the Wolverines were all over that one. Pryor caught the football, and the second he put his mitts on it, he was knocked down by William Fletcher, and a loss on that play of 3 brings up 4th down and 13.
Bethel Park again running that little wide receiver in the flat passing route, and Woodland Hills has eaten it up the last 2 times they've seen it.
So Bethel Park again to punt it away. Papalia. Sky-high spinning punt. Miles Sanders retreating, and the punt takes a Woodland Hills bounce before being downed at the Wolverines' 37-yard line. So Woodland Hills has another opportunity here in quarter number 2 with 2:36 to play and just 63 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah, we know that 63 yards can get gobbled up very quickly. Woodland Hills just really needs to do something right now. Anything. Sustain a drive. 2:36. Put some points on the board, because you know what's going to happen at halftime, Adam, is that Coach Novak and the offensive coaches are going to lay into these guys because they know that they should be doing a much better job than they've shown us today.
Jeremiah Jones brings the Woodland Hills Wolverines out of the huddle. With a one-back set, he's in the shotgun, trips left, 1 receiver to the far boundary right. Good snap. Jones has time. A little bit of happy feet here for Jones. And he will dump it off to the near sideline where it's complete to Stephon Hawthorne. And Hawthorne is brought down inside of Bethel Park territory at the 46-yard line. And there was some confidence by Jeremiah Jones, relying on his legs to extend the play.
Yeah, he looked, he saw nothing open in his first progressions, and then, got, like you said, a little happy feet and was able to make something happen. Great job of the offensive line of staying behind the line of scrimmage and not going downfield as they thought Jeremiah Jones might have been tucking to run the ball.
First completion of the game, covers 17 yards, and again, it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the Bethel Park 46-yard line. Trips left, 1 receiver right. Draw handoff. It's Joel Shaw pounding his way forward, leaning back and driving his way inside of the 45 to the 44, where it's 2nd down and 8.
Well, when you're inside of 2 minutes and you're trying to put some points on the board, walking around like the Woodland Hills offense is doing is not gonna do well, or not gonna bode well for them. They need to get these plays in or have a couple plays called already if you're gonna run your 2-minute offense.
Sidecar to the right of Jeremiah Jones. Trips to the right of the formation. Jones has time as he rolls to his right-hand side. Jones will step up now. Still on his feet. Inside of the 45. There goes Jeremiah Jones, 40, 35, 30. Picks up a block, 25, 20 to the 15. Another block to the 5. Inside of the pylon for a touchdown. And Jeremiah Jones somehow escapes black jersey after black jersey and takes it 44 yards to the house.
And the one thing I'm looking for, Adam, right now is any flags on the field, and I do not see any. That was a great job of Jeremiah Jones of eluding tackler after tackler, and then once he got himself into the open field, and he was on the right side of the field when he got open, and then saw a lane towards the left pylon and just made his way right towards it.
So Woodland Hills is on top by 1, 13-12 with a minute to play. John Leone on to attempt the point after touchdown to give the Wolverines a 2-point lead. And Leone's PAT is blocked. Knifing in there and swatting that one to the turf was Jake Lewis. And with a minute to play, Woodland Hills holds a slim 1-point lead, 13-12 over Bethel Park. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. With 1 minute to play in quarter number 2, Woodland Hills has taken the lead on a 44-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Jones. The problem is the PAT was blocked, and the lead is at a precarious 1 point right now. The good news is that Bethel Park on their 2 scores, neither point after touchdown attempt was successful, neither the 1 nor the 2. But Jake Lewis for Bethel Park blocked John Leone's PAT attempt most recently to keep the lead at just 1 for Woodland Hills. Leone boots this one away down the far numbers where it's scooped up by a Bethel Park Blackhawk. And I think it was Keontae Pryor on the return. Check that. John Delino for the Blackhawks. And it will be first down and 10 for Bethel Park at the 35. 53 seconds to play.
And Woodland Hills did a really good job of staying poised throughout that last drive. It was good to see them mix the run and the pass. A lot of it was Jeremiah Jones just seeing some people downfield, seeing some openings downfield, and Woodland Hills put some good points on the board right now.
Matheny will hand off. Minton is brought down after a 3-yard gain, but a flag flew right as the ball was snapped. This one may be against the Blackhawks or some sort of illegal shift. Folks on the radio, don't forget, stay tuned for the the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. And it's a legal motion against Bethel Park. That will march them back 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, where it'll be first down and 15 for the Blackhawks with the ball at the Woodland Hills 29. Matheny brings the Blackhawks out of the huddle. 2 receivers to either side. 1 setback as Matheny throws to Keontae Pryor down the near side. Pryor stiffs arms of 1 Wolverine and then comes to the near sideline before being brought out of bounds by Trayvon Bryant Stallworth. And a pickup on that play of about 7 yards brings up second down and 8.
Pryor didn't stiff arm just any Wolverine. He stiff armed one of the leading tacklers for this Wolverine defense in number 38, Lee.
So it's second down and 8 for Bethel Park with the ball at the 41. The line to gain is the 44, rather the ball's at the 36. Minton is the ball carrier, and he has enough for the first down before being brought down by Jihad Brown. Minton crosses the 45 to the 47-yard line. A pickup of 11 on that run by Minton.
And Minton
now with 52 yards on the ground.
And he's been a workhorse for this Bethel Park defense at fullback and at tailback.
Jeff Matheny is going to call a timeout here, as the Blackhawks didn't have the proper personnel out there on the field. but we'll keep it here. And, you know, Fred, Woodland Hills right now with this 1-point lead has to feel a bit relieved. You know, with the football game in question when Woodland Hills was down by 5, there was almost panic with those white jerseys, but things changed and Woodland Hills was able to get their feet under them, and Jeremiah Jones felt some pressure and he was able to cash in and score on the 44-yard touchdown run, picking up some nice blocks. And should Woodland Hills go into the locker room with this 1-point advantage, that's certainly a lot better, not only for the scoreboard, but emotionally than going in down by 5.
Yeah, with the expectations that this team has this year, for them to be down to Bethel Park, you know, they're probably taking a hit to the momentum factor, but, you know, they've done a great job of keeping themselves poised, especially on that last offensive drive, of keeping themselves poised, finding ways to move the ball down the field and then get themselves in the end zone. Again,
Woodland Hills with a 1-point advantage, 13-12, 15.6 seconds to go as Matheny steps under center, twins to the left, one receiver right. Matheny off of play action. Looks to the right, throws to the right, and the pass intended for Christopher Papalia is incomplete. And that brings up 2nd down and 10. So that incomplete pass, one of just 4 thus far for Levi Matheny, the junior. One back set behind Matheny. Twins to the left. Matheny looks right the whole way, has time, throws, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Jake Lewis. Trayvon Bryant Stallworth on the coverage for Woodland Hills. And it's 3rd down and 10.
And it looks like they just ran the same play that they did the play prior, and trying to take advantage of Woodland Hills' soft coverage on the outsides.
Third and 10 for Bethel Park. The ball at the 47. Twins to the left, one receiver to the right of the formation. Matheny pressured by Wolford Clark. He'll run to the near boundary. Steps out of bounds after a 1-yard gain to the 48-yard line. And with 2 seconds to go, it'll be 4th down and 9 for the Blackhawks.
And that was an excellent first step of Will Clark, of just busting through the offensive line of Bethel Park. As soon as Matheny tried to set his feet, he had to keep his feet moving, because if not, Will Clark would have been right on top of him.
From this vantage point, it appeared Matheny had picked up a yard to the 48, but they'll say he steps out at the 47. So no gain, and it's 4th down and 10 with 2 seconds to play. Matheny will step under center with an eye backfield behind him. Now Bethel Park motions out of that eye, putting Pryor to the left of the formation, making trips left. Hand off to Minton. Minton still on his feet. 1st down yardage and more, and he will be brought down by Jordan Lee. It's a big pickup for Minton of about 14 yards, but it's inconsequential as these two teams will head to the locker room with Woodland Hills on top by 1, 13-12. Well, Fred, it could have been a lot worse. Woodland Hills was down by 5 late in quarter number 2. The offense was stale. The defense was bending. But the good news is the Woodland Hills defense started to really get things going, and the offense did what they needed to do on their last drive.
Yeah, especially the first drive started with a short field. It's kind of hard to keep a team out of the end zone when they're starting, you know, inside their own 30-yard line. Just sloppy play by both teams. It's really not, you know, a week 2 situation. It's not what we thought we would see in terms of being crisp, being precise, just running your offense and defense the way we know they can.
Again, your halftime score, 13-12. Woodland Hills leading Bethel Park. Folks, on the television side, when we return, we'll get you set for the second half. On the radio side, stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. Again, your halftime score, 13-12. Woodland Hills on top of Bethel Park. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to Bethel Park High School in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, where the Woodland Hills Wolverines hold a slim 1-point advantage over the Bethel Park Blackhawks, 13-12. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you. And Fred, this is not what we anticipated. A week ago, Bethel Park was hammered by Pittsburgh Central Catholic, 41-0, while Woodland Hills shut out Peters Township, 27-0. Meanwhile, here tonight, Bethel Park has controlled the majority of the first half. Now, Woodland Hills has held the lead on 2 different occasions, both at 7-6 and now here at halftime, 13-12. But it's precarious, and it's been precarious all of the first half. And the worst news for Woodland Hills right now is they can't build on a lead because Bethel Park will get the ball to begin half number 2.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just basically who's going to win the turnover battle in this game is probably going to dictate the outcome of the game, because, you know, with Bethel Park, I believe, has 3 turnovers. Woodland Hills has 2. It's just a really sloppy football game, and you know, Woodland Hills hasn't done a good job of capitalizing on the turnovers by Bethel Park. And in the same respect, you know, Bethel Park has done a good job of putting up 12 points off of 2 Woodland Hills turnovers.
That is 100% correct. Woodland Hills coughed up the opening kickoff, and Bethel Park got the ball at the Wolverine 36-yard line. The Wolverines allowed Bethel Park to score a couple of minutes later, and Bethel Park also took advantage of a fumble by Joel Shaw right near the midfield stripe. The Blackhawks marched the ball 53 yards on that touchdown drive. It was capped off by the second touchdown pass of the game by Levi Matheny. Again, Bethel Park will receive to begin half number 2. So basically the Blackhawks begin both halves with the football.
And the one thing I noticed, Adam, is that Levi Matheny's actually felt a little comfortable back there in the pocket. He's been able to get some passes off. And right now, Woodland Hills really needs to dial up the pressure and try to force him into some interceptions. And, you know, with Woodland Hills, the big play capability that they have, those interceptions can go for touchdowns.
Next up for Woodland Hills, next Friday night, the first home game of the season, as the Wolverines take on the Shaler Titans, the first non-conference game of the 2014 season. First time we've seen Shaler in a long time on the Woodland Hills schedule. Woodland Hills will also step out of conference to take on West Allegheny coming up on October the 10th, I do believe. First time Woodland Hills has taken on a AAA team since hosting Thomas Jefferson a few years back.
Which happened to have been my first game with you, Adam.
Big win for Woodland Hills in a game that a lot of people thought was going to be a very close matchup between the teacher and the pupil, but the teacher's team ran away with it. Coach Novak and the Wolverines got the big win over Bill Cherpak's Thomas Jefferson Jaguars.
And if both teams stay undefeated going into that contest, we're going to have a lot of company up in the press box, that's for sure.
And of course, we're talking about West Allegheny, Bob Palco's team. And the kickoff by Leone is lined to the 32-yard line, where it's covered up by a Bethel Park Blackhawk, where it'll be first down and 10 for Bethel Park.
You know, and Bethel Park's defense really needs to keep that pass-run combination going, because they've been pretty successful on both ends, especially with Alex Minton running out of fullback, running out of tailback. He's done a great job for Bethel Park so far in this game.
So again, the Blackhawks will start with the football at their own 32. High backfield behind Levi Matheny, the son of Jeff Matheny, the head coach of Bethel Park. Motion man is the tight end from right to left. 2 receivers to the right of the formation. Handoff will go to Minton, who bounces it to the near side. It'll be strung out. Minton is brought down in the backfield. Tackle on the play by Mike Nash, but the officials will say that Minton got back to the initial line of scrimmage.
And that was a great open field tackle by Mike Nash. Minton a little bit bigger than Nash, but he was able to get underneath his armpit and wrap his arms around him and get him to the turf.
Officials actually say that Minton picked up about a yard on that play before Nash drove him back. So Minton now with 53 yards on the ground. Offset high backfield behind Matheny as McGinnis crabs from left to right. Play action, dump off to Minton in the flat to the far boundary. Minton first down yardage and more before he's brought down. Jordan Lee in on the tackle, as well as Stephon Hawthorne, and that's more than enough for a Bethel Park first down.
And that's actually the outside linebacker's responsibility as the first man out of the backfield, and Woodland Hills just really failed to pick up, the running back coming out. And Bethel Park's going to make you pay. They're doing a good job of moving the ball down the field. If you don't stop them here and there, they're going to put some more points on the board.
Second completion to Minton. He now has 2 catches for 45 yards. Meanwhile, Matheny is 9 of 14 for 80 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Straight eye backfield behind Matheny this time. Long handoff to Keontae Pryor. And what a shed of a block there by Damon Johnson. Johnson shed the block, leaped over the blocker, and made the tackle 1 yard deep in the backfield.
That was a very impressive play by Johnson. Like you said, he was able to just dispatch of his blocker and got over top of him and made a nice solid tackle for a 1 yard loss.
Pryor now with 4 carries for -7 yards. Second down and 11 for Bethel Park. Pistol formation. Trips to the right of the formation. Matheny's going to hand off to Minton. And Minton is met in the backfield by Kevin Solomon. And again, it's Solomon nearly having the opportunity to take the handoff.
Yeah, between Solomon and Will Clark, they've done a great job at the defensive tackle. Unfortunately on that play, Solomon's helmet came off, which means he has to sit out the next play.
So that brings in Wilford Clark. Danny Gibson was also in on the play for the Wolverines on that previous tackle. Third down and 14 for the Blackhawks. The ball at their own 43. Woodland Hills on top by 1, 13-12. Clock rolling down towards 9 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Matheny with an offset eye behind him. 2 receivers to the right. Fullback Krabs to the right. Matheny off of play action. Throws the football open, and catching that football is Christopher Papalia. And Papalia is finally brought down along that far boundary after a big pickup for Bethel Park deep into Woodland Hills territory, all the way down to the 22-yard line.
It looked like there might have been some miscommunication between Jahad Brown and number 9, Brian Stallworth, because there was no way that receiver should have been that wide open. Definitely a miscommunication in the coverage.
33-yard pickup on that pass play for Bethel Park. And Matheny now over 100 yards, 113 yards in the air unofficially. He'll hand off to Minton, who was met in the backfield and brought down. We'll say his forward progress was stopped just shy of the line of scrimmage. Wolford Clark, among others, in on the tackle for Woodland Hills.
And we mentioned earlier that Woodland Hills is rotating their defensive line to keep them fresh, but they're also doing a good job of rotating their linebackers as well to keep these guys fresh, because they've had a tremendous game so far.
Second down and 10 for Bethel Park with the ball inside of the Woodland Hills 25. A pass to Keontae Pryor, and Pryor is brought down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. A pickup of about 2 for Pryor before Damon Johnson makes the tackle.
The one thing I've noticed, Adam, is that Bethel Park has been successful of passing down the field as opposed to these slip screens and these little ins and outs. If I was Jeff Matheny, I'd consider keep going downfield against this Wolverine secondary and see what happens at the end of it.
Third down and about 8.5 for Bethel Park. Motion 2 men to the right of the formation. Matheny in the shotgun. 1 receiver to his left and a sidecar to his right in Minton. Timing pattern, and the pass is complete over the middle to Jacob Dixon, and Dixon is brought down inside of the 20 at the 17. A pickup on that play of about 6 brings up 4th down and 3.
And it's decision time for Jeff Matheny. Do you keep your offense on the field and try to get a first down, or do you go for the field goal and try to give yourself the lead?
And they will go for the field goal as Matthew Monty steps out onto the field. This will be a 34-yard field goal attempt, pretty much from dead center. Snap a little high. The kick is up. That kick carrying right, but it is good. And Woodland Hills again trails Bethel Park, this time by a score of 15-13. And Fred, it seemed like Woodland Hills was a little slow on that snap. They had an opportunity to block that one had they been quicker on that snap.
Yeah, I just don't think they anticipated the quickness of Bethel Park. They came out, they knew what they wanted to do, snapped it fast, and it was an ugly kick, but obviously an effective kick because it put points on the board.
15-13, Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills. 6:52 to go in quarter number 3. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. A penalty on the free kick against Bethel Park will give the Blackhawks the ball at their own 45. With 2:41 to play in quarter number 3. And a timeout is taken by Bethel Park. We will keep it here, though, and again take a review of the most recent happenings here at Bethel Park High School. Bethel Park got the ball to begin the second half. They started the drive at their own 32-yard line. They occupied over 5 minutes on their first drive, and the drive was capped off by a 34-yard field goal by Matthew Monty, and that made the score 15-13, Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills. Wolverines got the ball back, and the ball was fumbled away by Jeremiah Jones. That gave Bethel Park the ball at the Woodland Hills 25. Bethel Park was pushed back by the Woodland Hills defense, but a nice punt by Levi Matheny gave the ball to the Wolverines at the 5-yard line. Miles Sanders, running to his left, retreated and was brought down at the inside of the goal line after a 7-yard loss, and that is why the scoreboard reads 17-13. And here comes a run to the near side. The ball carrier is John Delino. And Delino is brought down after a 10-yard gain, but a flag well behind the play, and I think it's going to be a hold against Bethel Park. Again, Delino on the 10-yard carry, but this one's going to come back. The referee throwing this penalty against the Blackhawks, the home team, moving backwards.
You know, the one thing I have to mention, Adam, is that the scoreboard is really not indicative of how well this Woodland Hills defense is playing. You know, when your offense gives up 2 points, gives up the ball on the, your side of the 50-yard line, very close to the end zone, it's kind of hard to keep a team any caliber out of the end zone or off the scoreboard. And Bethel Park is just doing a good job of taking advantage of all the miscues that Woodland Hills has given them.
Matheny steps under center with an eye backfield behind him, receivers to either side. Matheny's going to hand off to the fullback, and that is Minton, and Minton picks up about 2 yards up to the 35-yard line, where it will now be second down and 20.
And it looks like Minton might have a touch of the cramps. Saw him pulling at his toes, trying to stretch out his calves. And that, if he goes out of the game, could do some damage for the Bethel Park offense.
Second and 20 for Bethel Park. Jake Lewis checks into the game for the Blackhawks, and he'll line up, slot to the near side left. And Jeff Matheny has to use his second time out of the second half, and that'll give us an opportunity to press the reset button and step away for a moment. It's 17-13, Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. .150 to play in quarter number 3. Woodland Hills down by 4 points. Bethel Park with the ball second and 20 at their own 35. Minton takes the handoff from Matheny, bouncing it right, and he'll be brought down after a very nice pickup of about 14 yards, and that'll bring up a pretty manageable third down and 6 after it was second down and 20.
Again, Bethel Park has just run a quick hitter with the fullback, that time being Minton, and continue. I don't understand. They're just blocking that. They're blocking the 4-3 defense very well. They're putting a man on a man, which is allowing Minton to get, good substantial yardage, especially on second downs.
Matheny steps under center. Receivers to either side. Fullback Krabs to his left. Woodland Hills moved early, but the fullback was heading forward at the same time. This will be decision time for the officials. From our vantage point, it seemed like Minton had started his forward motion early. The referee asks Woodland Hills to back up as they talk things over. And it will be false start against Bethel Park, backing them up 5 yards. So instead of 3rd down and 6, it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, look for Bethel Park to go back to that fullback dive that's been so successful for them.
Matheny gets the play from his father along the near boundary, then runs into the huddle and calls the play. 2 receivers to the near side left, 1 to the far boundary right. Sidecar to the left of Matheny. Low snap. Matheny dropping back, pressured. Runs to his left, spun down. Shy of the line of scrimmage. Tackle on the play by Akira McLean. And a 1 yard loss for Matheny. And Matheny now has 6 carries for minus 24 yards.
And it's good to see McLean back in the lineup after sustaining a substantial injury last year. Leading sacker on the team last year. Had to do some rehab and has done a great job so far of getting back on the field.
Again, a 1 yard loss on that play brings up 4th down and 12, and the Bethel Park Blackhawks will allow the 3rd quarter to expire. We head to frame number 4 with the score Bethel Park 17 and Woodland Hills 13. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Bethel Park facing a 4th down and 12 with the ball at their own 43-yard line. They lead Woodland Hills 17-13. This will be a pretty significant upset for the Bethel Park Blackhawks should they hold on or expand this lead and end up winning this football game, knocking off the top-ranked Woodland Hills Wolverines. Punt unit is on for the Blackhawks. Papalia, the regular punter, is on. Matheny had a beautiful punt that led to the safety by Woodland Hills moments ago. Papalia takes 2 steps, booms into this one. Beautiful arcing, spiraling punt that will be dropped by Art Tompkins. He'll pick it up at the 10. He'll be brought down by his face mask at the 10-yard line. And there's going to be a flag here, but it's not going to be a flag against Bethel Park. There was a flag thrown at the 16-yard line. The official along that far boundary was so busy looking at whatever may have happened between a blocker and a Bethel Park Blackhawk that he didn't see Art Tompkins get ripped down by his face mask. We're going to have a conversation here again. And the penalty is against Woodland Hills. How aggravating is that, Fred?
It's been aggravating all evening long. You know, it seems like anytime Woodland Hills has done something or trying to get themselves into a right position, the flags come out, and you know we've seen it time and time again. But it's just it really does boggle my mind.
Art Tompkins rather had his helmet ripped off as he was tackled by the face mask at the 10-yard line. No flag flew against Bethel Park there. Just one against the Wolverines for some block 10 yards away from the football. I backfield behind Jeremiah Jones. Handoff, Joel Shaw, he lost the football. The Blackhawks got it. Bethel Park has the football inside of the Woodland Hills 5. And if Bethel Park scores here, Fred, it could be the nail in the coffin for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
You might be right, Adam. You might be right.
They are just so deflated right now, are the visitors along that far boundary. Jeremiah Jones didn't seem to take the snap cleanly, and the handoff to Joel Shaw certainly didn't stay in his belly. And we saw this late last year by Joel Shaw, having a tough time taking the handoffs last year from Harry Randall, now from Jeremiah Jones.
It looks like Will Clark has got a case of the cramps right now.
Will Clark being attended to by the athletic training staff. Line coach John Carter out there attending to him. And with Will Clark down, we'll take an opportunity to step away yet again. 11:36 to play. Bethel Park with the football at the Woodland Hills 3-yard line. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wilford Clark still being stretched out down along the 5-yard line or so, being attended to by athletic trainer Denny D'Amico and physical therapist Joe Schaffo, the medical staff from Bethel Park out to take a look at Wilford Clark as well. Here's the situation. Bethel Park punted the ball away to Woodland Hills. The ball slipped through the hands of Art Tompkins at the 8-yard line. He scooped it up at the 10. There was a penalty 7 yards away from the football against Woodland Hills. Simultaneously, Art Tompkins was tackled by his face mask. The officials seemed to miss that, even though everybody else in the stadium saw it. So Woodland Hills had the ball at their own 5-yard line. On the first play from scrimmage, a handoff to Joel Shaw was fumbled. Bethel Park recovered it at the 3. Good news for Wolverine fans as Wilford Clark is to his feet and he's headed to the sideline. But it's not good news for Wolverines fans as Bethel Park has the ball at the 3-yard line of the Woodland Hills Wolverines, just 3 yards away from maybe putting the nail in the coffin. Not because there's not a lot of time left in the football game, Fred, but more importantly, just because the Wolverines could be so awfully deflated coming in with such high expectations and facing a team they really had an excellent opportunity to defeat, quite frankly, fairly easily. But they have allowed Bethel Park to stay in this football game and hold leads on now 3 different occasions.
It's a level of expectation too, Adam. Woodland Hills really expected themselves to come in here and just, deliver, a butt whooping to Bethel Park. But Bethel Park had other plans in mind. They did their homework. They studied. They've done a great job so far of executing their game plan. And, let's just hope Woodland Hills can turn it around.
Minton, the ball carrier, on first down and goal from the 3, picks up about a yard. Folks on the TV side, you're seeing the replay of Art Tompkins getting tackled by his helmet and face mask. That penalty wasn't thrown, though. Blackhawks with the ball offset eye at the 2. Second down and goal. Handoff, Minton driving his way forward down to the 1-yard line. That'll bring up third down and goal.
The best thing that Woodland Hills can hope for right now is just Bethel Park coming away with 3 points. They've done a good job on these first 2 plays of just sticking it right to Bethel Park, just doing the whole bend but not break thing right now. They just really need to keep it up if they're going to want to be in this ballgame.
Third and goal for Bethel Park at the 1-yard line. 10-17 as the clock rolls here in quarter number 4. Inverted wishbone behind Matheny. He'll motion McGinnis to the left. Handoff, Minton. Ball comes loose. Daniel Gibson jumps on it, but they say that Minton was across the goal line prior to the ball coming loose, and it's a touchdown for Bethel Park.
Would really like to see what the replay produces on that one, because that's a little sketchy in my book.
From our vantage point, it was tough to tell when the ball came loose. Right now, it was called a touchdown, and that's the way it'll stay. And it looked like Minton was across the goal line prior to the ball coming loose and Danny Gibson falling on it. The third time Bethel Park has taken advantage of a Woodland Hills turnover. And the second time on a Joel Shaw fumble. PAT is up and in, and Woodland Hills is down by 11 points, 24-13 with 10 minutes to go. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. absolutely shocking development here at Bethel Park High School. The Woodland Hills Wolverines trail the Bethel Park Blackhawks by 11 points, 24-13, with 9 minutes and 59 seconds to go in quarter number 4. Bethel Park has taken advantage of 3 Woodland Hills turnovers. On the opening kickoff, Woodland Hills gave the ball to Bethel Park at the Woodland Hills 36. Bethel Park scored a touchdown. Halfway through the first quarter, a fumble by Joel Shaw gave Bethel Park the ball right near midfield. Bethel Park scored another touchdown. It was 12-7 Bethel Park. And now the Blackhawks have advantage of another Joel Shaw fumble. Art Tompkins scoops up the ball at the 18-yard line as he runs to his right to the 30, up to the 35, brought down at the 36-yard line. And that's where it'll be first down and 10 for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Well, the great news is Woodland Hills is as quick strike of an offense as there is in the WPIAL. The bad news is that we've seen a couple of quick strikes be called back by some nickel and dime penalties against the Wolverines.
You know, right now, if I'm Joel Shaw, I don't even want the ball if I'm Joel Shaw. I'm going to take my aggressions out on the next blocker who's in front of me and keep that momentum going down the entire field. That's where he needs to lie his focus at, is definitely on blocking and just, you know, paving the way for Miles Sanders and Art Tompkins.
Trips left. Jones throws. Tompkins complete on the screen. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Down the near sideline. There goes Art Tompkins all the way to the house on the screen pass. Art Tompkins somehow stayed in bounds and stayed on his feet. And the Wolverines are already within just 5 points.
And what I'm looking for, Adam, right now is I'm looking for a flag. And fortunately, again, for Woodland Hills, there are no flags on the play. And that was a great individual effort by Art Tompkins. A little slip screen out to the flat. Art Tompkins made at least 4 tacklers missed. Got some nice block and then outran the Bethel Park defense. It was a fantastic play by Art Tompkins.
64-yard touchdown screen from Jeremiah Jones to Art Tompkins. The Wolverines look to go for 2 here. A 2-point conversion makes it a 3-point football game. Jones gets the play, runs in. And the Wolverines from the middle of the field will attempt a 2-point conversion out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the far boundary right. And now Woodland Hills is forced to use a timeout. And that is a very valuable timeout to unfortunately burn in a special teams situation. We'll take the opportunity to step away. It's 24-19, Bethel Park on top of Woodland Hills. The Wolverines look to make it a 3-point affair when we return. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. (24-19), Woodland Hills trailing the Bethel Park Blackhawks. A 64-yard screen pass from Jeremiah Jones to Art Tompkins has made this a much closer football game than it was a moment ago. I'll tell you what, Art Tompkins is headed to the right school because he is a rocket back there with the football in his hands. Jones throws left, looking for Miles Sanders. Sanders can't grab a hold, and it remains a 5-point football game with Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills 24-19. 9:36 to play. We'll step away. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Max Mikowski helped to the near sideline for Bethel Park. Shaken up on the 2-point conversion attempt by the Wolverines. The pass from Jeremiah Jones to Miles Sanders was incomplete, and it remains a 5-point football game. Bethel Park leading Woodland Hills 24-19. We talked about the quick strike ability of the Wolverines. They did it on first down after Bethel Park scored to take the 11-point lead. Wolverines need to get the football back here as John Leone kicks the ball to the far sideline. It's caught and run out of bounds by John Delino along that far boundary, where it will be first down and 10 for Bethel Park at their own 28.
Yeah, Delino would have been better served of just letting that ball go out of bounds. No reason for him to pick it up. They probably lost him about It's like 6 yards.
Yeah, that would have been, had the ball gone out of bounds, it would have been 1st and 10 at the 35 for Bethel Park. Instead, it's at the 28, so actually a loss of 7. 9:33 to play in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills trailing by 5 points. High backfield behind Levi Matheny. Keontae Pryor dots the I. The handoff will go to the fullback Minton, who crosses the 30, and he'll be brought down at the 31-yard line. Diamond Johnson in on the tackle for Woodland Hills.
And that's where Woodland Hills really needs to come up big, is the Minton quick hitter, because he's really has been terrorizing the defense with that play.
Minton will be sore tomorrow, 18 carries, 72 yards. He also has a touchdown, the most recent touchdown for the Blackhawks. Motion man from left to right for Bethel Park. Matheny with an eye backfield, delay handoff to Keontae Pryor, who bounces it left, and Mike Nash strings the play out to the far boundary. And this could be close enough for the first down. It will depend on the spot by that official along the far boundary. And they will give Bethel Park the first down. The clock seemed a little shy, but they will move the flags. And we saw in the first half a clear first down by Woodland Hills. They moved the ball back when the umpire placed the ball, and then ended up costing Woodland Hills not only a first down, but Woodland Hills ended up having to punt the ball away.
I think the PIA really needs to come out and check out some of these officials and some of the games that they've done, because it has been an atrocity, at least especially today.
Hand off to Minton, who's met at the line of scrimmage and brought down.
And the reason why I say that, Adam, because clearly the down marker said second down. The ball was clearly in, behind the lead yardstick or the lead stick, and they still called it a first down.
Not to mention the obvious penalty when Art Tompkins was tackled by his face mask, but the official was so busy looking at a block 10 yards away from the football.
When you watch the replay, you can definitely tell the eyes of the referee were not where it needed to be. Or, I'm sorry, the umpire or field judge.
Offset eye backfield behind Levi Matheny. 8 minutes to play. Second down and 10 for Bethel Park. Matheny off of play action, looks to the near boundary, and the pass is intended for Minton, incomplete. Jahad Brown on the coverage. Blackhawk fans want a flag. I think the team in black and orange has gotten enough help from the team in black and white. Third down and 10 for Bethel Park. Woodland Hills defense out of the huddle. 7:52 here in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills down by 5, 24-19. Again, Woodland Hills opens their home schedule next Friday night. We hope to see you at the Wolverina as Woodland Hills welcomes the Shaler Titans to Turtle Creek. Pistol formation, sidecar to the right of Matheny, 2 receivers to the near side right. Pryor will motion out of the formation to send 3 receivers right. The ball loose on the carpet. Do the Wolverines have it at the 30? No, Bethel Park will recover. Adam McVeigh had his hands on the football, but somehow Matheny was able to come back and get on that ball. But the punt unit will come out after that loss on the play from the 38 back to the 31, a loss of 7.
And you can feel the momentum switching sidelines again. I mean, that's a great job of the Woodland Hills defense of stiffening up. At this point, Bethel Park can't sit back and.
Snap goes over the head of the punter. Retreating is the punter. Papalia threw the football forward. It's loose on the floor. Do the Wolverines fall on it? Will it be a touchdown or a safety? It's a touchdown. Woodland Hills is on top by 1 point. Bethel Park with a huge mistake, and then the punter could have just kicked the ball out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Instead, he tried to shovel the ball forward, and the Wolverines jump on top of it. Woodland Hills is on top by 1, and they can stretch that lead now.
And let's see if they decide to go for 2 and try to extend it to a 3-point lead.
What a change of momentum here at Bethel Park High School. Who jumps on the football for the Wolverines? From here, we can't tell. Either way, it's a touchdown. I think it was Joel Shaw. And that would be apropos after 2 mistakes by Shaw cost the Wolverines at least 12 points.
Yeah, and that's a great job of him staying focused in the ball game, keeping himself, motivated and hungry to help his team out.
25-24, Woodland Hills leading Bethel Park by 1. 7:04 to play in quarter number 4. And it was Joel Shaw. We got confirmation on the fumble recovery. And Woodland Hills will call a timeout. They use their second timeout on a 2-point conversion. But what an incredible turn of events here, Fred. It seemed like the Wolverines were deflated and ready to pack it up and go home. But all of a sudden, a screen pass to Art Tompkins, covering 64 yards, gave some life back to the Wolverines. The Woodland Hills defense came up big, and then a special teams error, as the punt sailed over the snap sailed over the head of Christopher Papalia, the punter. And instead of just falling on the football or throwing it out of the back of the end zone, he tried to shovel it forward as he was pressured by Stephen Puel. The ball then bounced to the right after hitting the hands of William Fletcher, and that is when Joel Shaw fell on top of it. And the touchdown for Woodland Hills puts them on top by 1 point, 25-24.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky than good. Woodland Hills is definitely, have been really lucky on that last play. The screen pass was just hard work, good determination by Art Tompkins, but the center, the long snapper for Bethel Park might have tensed up. He understood the situation, or might not have understood the situation, and let the snap sail over the head.
Motion man is Shaw, motioning trips to the right of the formation. Jones runs right. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. He's going to break the goal line. And Woodland Hills is on top by 3, 27-24 with 7:04 to play. The Wolverines seemed dead to rights, but all of a sudden, the Wolverines are on top by 3 points with 7:04 to play. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills is on top 27-24. And if you'd have told me this was going to be the situation when the Wolverines were down by 11 points, 24-13, I'd have called you a liar. But the momentum shifted so very quickly. It was set up initially by the 64-yard screen pass for a touchdown by Art Tompkins, followed up by a special teams mistake by Bethel Park, and Woodland Hills is on top by 3 here, 27-24 with 7 minutes and 1 second to play.
Great job of Woodland Hills of just sticking together as a team through what might, with the exception of maybe the West Allegheny game, might be one of the tougher stretches in a game that they'll face. Being down 11 points, they stuck together, got themselves, back to a 3-point lead, but just a great effort team-wise by the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
The lay handoff, Keontae Pryor bouncing it left. Mike Nash, open field tackle, brings down Pryor. And it was Nash and Pryor and nothing but greenery, and Nash got the job done. A gain of 3 for Keontae Pryor.
And he's done that pretty much all game long, as he gets one-on-one in some open space with a Bethel Park running back or receiver, and he is probably as sure a tackler as Woodland Hills has on their defense this year.
Bethel Park with the football at their own 33. Second down and 7 for the Blackhawks. One back set. A flag comes in. And I think the tight end on the left of the formation may have set and then pulled his hand up, which would be a legal motion against Bethel Park. The officials again talking things over. This has been a theme all night long, indecisiveness. And now we'll wave the flag off.
That's twice. That's twice they've waved off a flag.
So it's second down and 7 for Bethel Park. Clock rolls again. Just over 6 minutes to play in regulation. Woodland Hills on top by 3. Incidentally, this 3-point lead by Woodland Hills, their largest of the football game. They've led by 1 twice before, but now lead by 3. And Jeff Matheny is forced to use his final timeout as there was some question as to the formation by the Bethel Park Blackhawks. And that'll give us an opportunity to step away yet again. It's 27-24, Woodland Hills leading Bethel Park. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Second down and 7 for Bethel Park, the ball at their own 33-yard line. Trips to the right of the formation. Matheny's going to dump it off across the middle. That pass is complete to Jake Lewis, and Lewis is finally spun down right near the 50-yard line. Lewis slammed to the turf, but not before picking up a big first down there for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. A gain of 16 yards on that play.
Yeah, it looks like he just came across the motion, or came across the formation, and just brought himself back into the middle of the field. Matheny caught him in stride and made a great effort to get a first down.
Offset I backfield behind Matheny. Matheny off of play action. Pressured. Goes away from that pressure, runs to the far side. Daniel Gibson can't get him. He's finally forced out of bounds by Laquan Bowden along that far boundary. The initial pressure by Tyreek Thompson was not able to get to Matheny, and Matheny finally stepped out of bounds along that far boundary inside of Woodland Hills territory at the 43. A pickup of 7 on that play.
Yeah, it looks like Adam McVeigh might have got caught inside as he was pursuing the quarterback. Actually, he had good containment. Matheny just made a great move to get around him, and then once he got around him, he picked up close to first down yardage.
And the handoff goes to Minton, and Minton is met at the line of scrimmage. Amon Baldwin Youngblood in there, as well as Kevin Solomon. Solomon, 5'8", 275. And Amon Baldwin Youngblood, 6'4", 325. I know if I was an offensive lineman, that's the kind of action I wouldn't necessarily want to have to deal with. Gain of about a yard on that play for Minton. And it's third down and about a yard for the Blackhawks. Big play here for the Woodland Hills defense. Straight eye backfield behind Levi Matheny. One receiver to the right of the formation. That receiver motions from right to left. Matheny drops back, hands off, play made in the backfield. Knifing through and making the tackle 2 yards deep was Laquan Bowden.
And Bowden made a great run read on that play. I don't know if it was a design blitz, but I'm going to call it a great run read, because just as soon as he saw the guard move, he took off like a bolt of lightning to get Minton in the backfield.
A rare loss by Minton carrying the football. This brings up 4th down and 3 for Bethel Park. The ball at the Woodland Hills 44-yard line. Time winding down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. 27-24. Matheny in the shotgun, twins to either side. Hard count, flag flies. Ball tipped, nearly intercepted. Bowden had it in his hands and dropped it. Either way, this should be Woodland Hills football. Either a turnover on downs. There's a pair of flags down here. One on either side. Woodland Hills will decline the penalties. And it will be a turnover on downs after the illegal motion against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. But I'll tell you what, Fred, Bowden's got to be kicking himself, because there was a lot of greenery in front of him.
And I just said that in the timeout, Adam. I was, usually when things like this happen for Woodland Hills, somehow they seem to come up with a big pick six. And that would have been the case had Bowden kept his hands on the ball.
So turnover on downs gives Woodland Hills the ball at their own 44 with 3:22 to play. Time for a sustained drive here for the visitors. Pistol formation. Handoff. Sanders bouncing it right. Brought down in the backfield by Levi Matheny. A loss of 3 on the play.
It looks like Jeff Matheny's just putting all his athletes out there on defense to try to stop Woodland Hills and maybe try to get the ball back with some time left. But the only bad thing is I thought that Bethel Park was out of timeouts.
Well, they should be. And the officials on the field, you'd have to assume, have that noted.
Well,
even though the scoreboard doesn't have it noted.
You know, we can't assume anything with officials.
That is a very valid point. Incidentally, that loss of 3 by Miles Sanders takes him down to 94 yards unofficial. Pistol formation with Sanders behind Jones, one receiver to the near side left in Isaiah Brooks. Handoff, Sanders looks right, lowers his shoulder. Picks up about 2 yards before being driven back. And it is 3rd down and 11 for Woodland Hills.
You know, the one thing that Bethel Park has done in the second half that we have to give them some credit for is they've actually contained, for the most part, Miles Sanders in the second half. They couldn't stop him in the first half, but they've managed to get, 2 or 3 guys to put a helmet on him and, keep him pretty much in check.
A week ago, Miles Sanders, over 110 yards on the ground and a pair of TDs. This week he has 1 touchdown and 96 yards. Pistol formation. Sanders behind Jones. The timing is not correct on the play. Jones lost the football. It's scooped up by Bethel Park, and to the house will go a Bethel Park Blackhawk. Picking up the fumble and running into the end zone is Charlie Davis, and Bethel Park with 90 seconds to play has seized the lead back 30-27. Unbelievable. The play was clearly designed to go to Miles Sanders. Jeremiah Jones ran to his right, didn't secure the football, lost it for his 3rd fumble of the game, and it was scooped up by Charlie Davis, who took it to the house, and Woodland Hills is down 3 points with 1:30 to play. Matthew Monti on to attempt the PAT for Bethel Park. PAT is up, and it is good, and Woodland Hills is down by 4 points, 31-27, with 1:30 to play here at Bethel Park High School.
I'm really stunned right now. You're in a situation where you have to control the clock, you have to control the yardage, the down and distance, and at that point, Jeremiah Jones just did not. It was a designed play, like you said, to go to Miles Sanders. The timing was messed up by the snap, and sloppy ball control is going to hurt you every single time.
So Charlie Davis with a 44-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And Woodland Hills, who had seized all momentum, all of a sudden trails by 4 points, 31-27. Well, folks watching on TV, you may wonder, Bethel Park, the entire cheerleading squad, the entire bench ran down beyond the coach's box. Charlie Davis celebrated before he crossed the goal line. There was no penalty against Bethel Park, but at this point that is irrelevant. What is relevant is Woodland Hills has 90 seconds to try to get this lead back. Art Tompkins runs right, cuts forward, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 15, 10, 5, end zone. Art Tompkins takes it all the way. There's a flag at the 40. If it's against Woodland Hills, it will be negated. But if it's not, Art Tompkins is a magician again.
I would love to know what this penalty is on.
The penalty was nowhere near the play. Let's see what it is. We'll check in with the referee. The penalty is tripping against Bethel Park. The kicker stuck his leg out and tried to trip Art Tompkins, and that was the penalty. But it was Art Tompkins who took it to the house. Incredible. Art Tompkins. We knew Miles Sanders was going to be a star this year, but Art Tompkins has been something special through the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's definitely a good compliment to Miles Sanders. We knew Miles Sanders was going to be the all-everything running back, going to Penn State. Great job. He's done a great job in his young career. But Art Tompkins has put in an effort. Ever since last year, he's just, been at it. He's been a stud in the weight room, one of the fastest kids on the team, and that definitely paid real dividends on that play.
Offensive lineman was late to run on for Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills had asked for a timeout. The referee will now talk to George Novak. It's Woodland Hills on top by 2 points here, 33-31. How did Art Tompkins do it? Absolutely incredible. After Jeremiah Jones fumbled the football and Charlie Davis returned it 44 yards for a touchdown, somehow Art Tompkins was able to scoop up a low lining kick and return it to the house.
Just made a nice move to the right side and found the seam, and then once he hit that seam, gone.
Art Tompkins took it down that far boundary. The closest thing you could come to a tackle against Bethel Park was an attempt at a trip right around the midfield stripe by the Bethel Park kicker. That came up well shy, and Tompkins took it to the house. Woodland Hills on top by 2 here, 33-31. Out of the hold of Whitehurst. The snap by Rickard. Leon's kick is up, and it's blocked by Bethel Park. So it's a 2-point lead here for the Woodland Hills Wolverines with 1:17 to play. We just got to take a rest right now, I think. Let's step away again. 33-31, Woodland Hills leads Bethel Park here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. A 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Art Tompkins has given the Woodland Hills Wolverines the lead back by 2 points, 33-31, with 1:17 to play in quarter number 4. Art Tompkins has been magical thus far this season for Woodland Hills. Bethel Park, on that tripping penalty, Woodland Hills, I guess, was given the option to kick off, to accept the penalty on the kickoff. And that's what they will do. So Woodland Hills will kick off from the Bethel Park 45-yard line. And John Leone will line this punt where it will be covered up at the 17-yard line, and Bethel Park is 88 yards away from taking the lead back with 1:15 to go. And now it's time for the Woodland Hills defense to come up big. And I haven't seen much of Miles Sanders on defense, but don't you know what, Freddie's out there right now.
They're going to put him in a prevent defense. You have to think that, Bethel Park is going to try to take some shots down the field. And they've been successful with shots down the field against this Woodland Hills defense. But right now, you got to put, like Bethel Park put Matheny in on defense, you got to put Miles Sanders in, one of your best athletes.
2 receivers right. Matheny, straight drop back. Looks right, throws across the middle. Oh, it's nearly intercepted. The pass went through the hands of the intended receiver, and it was Jason Visco who nearly was able to get a hold of it for the Wolverines after it slipped through the hands of Charlie Davis, who moments ago seemed like he was going to be the hero for Bethel Park.
Yeah, and Visco was looking to deliver a knockout blow because he was not really focused on the football. He was focused on the man, which is what you're supposed to do. But if he'd have just looked up 1 second before, that ball would have definitely been in his hands.
Matheny in the shotgun again, trips to the right. Sidecar to his right. Tight end to the left. Matheny rolling near side. Hit hard by Adam McVeigh, but Matheny escapes. But he will not escape. Kevin Solomon and Big Danny Gibson. No timeouts left for Bethel Park.
Yeah, they got to go in hurry-up mode right now.
A loss on that play. Back to the 17, a loss of 5. Two receivers right, one to the far boundary left. Matheny in the shotgun. Has time, throws across the middle. Again, the pass is tipped across the middle. Jordan Lee on the coverage is the pass intended for Jacob Dixon.
And Matheny has to get out of the huddle a little bit faster than that. I mean, he had his team lined up pretty quickly, but could not get the play off. Without taking another extra 10 seconds before the ball was snapped.
Bethel Park started this drive at their own 17-yard line with 1:15 to go. The ball now sits at the 13-yard line. Bethel Park out of the huddle, facing a 4th down and 15 with 33 seconds to go. Two receivers to either side. Matheny straight drop back. He's hit, the ball is loose. And I think Woodland Hills recovered it. It doesn't matter. The Wolverines will have the football inside of the Bethel Park 5 with 26 seconds to play, and it's all but elementary here at Bethel Park High School.
All you have to do is take a knee right now, and this ball game is over. No timeouts by Bethel Park. With the change of possession, the clock does stop. All you have to do is snap it, and the ball game's over.
A loss of 10 on that play. Matheny had time initially, but he was pressured late and just lost the football as the contact initially came in there by Tyreek Thompson. And Woodland Hills will use their final timeout of the football game. Fred, this has become an instant classic here at Bethel Park.
Yeah.
A game that was sloppy, ugly as could be in week number 2 has all of a sudden become as memorable of a football game as I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, during the fourth quarter, rally that all the Woodland Hills fans are used to, you put the 4 fingers up in the air. The coaches must have really got at them because they came out with a lot of life, especially after that 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and put some points on the board.
So again, Woodland Hills takes over at the Bethel Park 3-yard line here. It's all but over. Two protectors next to Jeremiah Jones and Hassan Ghanem and Joel Shaw. And Jeremiah Jones takes the knee, and that will be the final play of the football game. What an incredible football game here at Bethel Park, Fred.
Yeah, I mean, when we thought Woodland Hills was pretty much dead in the water, they found a way to, come back and keep coming back. I mean, there was twice they had to come back and put points on the board to right the ship and get themselves the victory.
Again, an absolute instant classic here at Bethel Park Stadium. Back and forth this football game went. It was absolutely incredible, the shifts in momentum. Bethel Park took an 11-point lead. Woodland Hills stormed back. They held a significant lead, did the Wolverines. Woodland Hills was trying to kill some clock. Jeremiah Jones fumbled the football. Charlie Davis returned it for a touchdown. And it seemed like Bethel Park was going to win the football game with 90 seconds to go. But Bethel Park made a mistake. They kicked the ball into the hands of one of the most dangerous men in the WPIAL, Art Tompkins, and he returned it 75 yards for a touchdown. And that was the end. That was the score that ended up winning the football game for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. An absolutely incredible evening here at Bethel Park. And most fortunately for you and I and every Woodland Hills fan across the network, Woodland Hills got the win.
Yeah, it was a great hard-fought victory. They didn't quit when they were down 11. They didn't quit when they were down late with under a minute and a half to go, down by, 4? And they just kept fighting, and that's what a Woodland Hills team that is looking to get its 6th WPIAL championship is going to have to do.
Well, it wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but the Woodland Hills Wolverines got it done. Again, your final score, Woodland Hills 33, Bethel Park 31. We're going to wrap it up here on the television side, and thank you for joining us. A few technical issues, but we persevered and overcame just like the visiting Woodland Hills Wolverines did. I'd like to thank our executive producer and television director, Larry George III. Also like to thank all of our technical crew, including our broadcast engineer and camera operator, Lee Schaefer Jr., graphic design, for TV, done by both Joe Slick and Lee Schaefer III. Our webmaster, Lee Schaefer III, helping us out getting the streaming going for this evening's game. And our camera operators, Lee Schaefer III, Joe Slick, and Lee Schaefer Jr. Again, for my broadcast partner, Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. Folks, on the TV side, we'll talk to you again next week from the Wolverina as Woodland Hills takes on Shaler. On the radio side, stay tuned for the State Senator Jay Costa post-game show. One more time, your final score, Woodland Hills 33, Bethel Park 31. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Blackhawks all across the Woodland Hills Football Network.